Seen in the Star Wars Rebels TV show, in the comics, well, just their helmets in Rogue One, Death Troopers are both awesome and terrifying. I'd go more with awesome. So this video, I want to talk about Death Troopers, specialized stormtroopers used during the time of the Galactic Empire. Recruited by Imperial intelligence, Death Troopers were an elite unit created to defend the most important operations, operatives, and officers within the Imperial military hierarchy. Once recruited, they were formed into protection squadrons of bodyguards and enforcers for these key fleet officials. Death Troopers typically worked in small groups, and they were also used to guard officers within the Tarkin Initiative, a secret think tank within the Advanced Weapons Research Division that developed the Death Star. Orson Krennic was one such officer in the program who was protected by Death Troopers, and he would rarely be seen without them. Grand Admiral Thrawn also used a squadron of Death Troopers during his campaign against the rebellion. As well, Death Troopers were present during the Battle of Scarif, the first major battle of the Galactic Civil War that marked the beginnings of the open war between the Alliance and the Galactic Empire. What is interesting is that the name Death Trooper stemmed from a rumored project from the Advanced Weapons Research Division within the Empire, a project that was trying to animate necrotic flesh. There is no reason to believe these troopers were creations of this project or reanimated dead, even though that division did create uncontrollable, undead stormtroopers, but the name stuck and gave them a disturbing reputation among the Imperial ranks. Of course, their black armor didn't help dispel the deathly reputation. Death Troopers were selected from candidates who excelled at stormtrooper training. These candidates met much stricter standards than normal stormtroopers. Physical requirements, including height and weight standards, exceeded typical trooper averages, such as being well over 6 foot, and they were also required to meet other rigid physical and mental standards to enter this class of troopers. Though classified, Death Troopers underwent medical procedures that augmented their abilities and made them beyond human. They were experts at covering their tracks and leaving little evidence of their presence, which is good considering they specialized in commando missions. They were purposely trained in exotic locations to produce faster, stronger, and more resilient soldiers, as well as being trained in sniping, heavy weapons, and unarmed combat to make them a more efficient trooper. Not only were they better soldiers, but their equipment was an improvement on the mass-produced stormtrooper kit. They had a more sophisticated sensing apparatus for total situational awareness of enemies, allies, and combat. They were encased in specialized armor that shone with an ominous gleam, and the armor had a base of plastoid coated with a spray polymer called Reflect. This polymer would warp the most common electromagnetic signals used in passive sensor arrays, making them harder to detect and well suited for stealth operations. Their helmets included a multi-frequency targeting and sensor system. Their featureless pauldron shows specialty status when seen through a trooper visor. They had image-intensifying active pulse emitters, a NeuroSav macro motion monitor, environmentally sealed bodysuit, BlastTech SE-14R light repeating blaster pistol, a BlastTech E-11D, thermal detonators, IM-40 3-slot ammunition, tool pouch, and they carried C-25 frags. So yeah, pretty armored. But what do you think about the Death Troopers? A favorite of yours, or just another stormtrooper variation? So those are Death Troopers. Thank you so much for watching. Please like the video, subscribe, and come back for more Star Wars videos every week.